Now, assuming that you know how to create text boxes, if not, you want to watch my training video on it, I'm going to show you how you can link two or more text boxes together. Why would you want to do that? Well, if you read some magazine articles or newspaper articles or even newsletters, sometimes they have the main story here and then a text box over to the right hand side that has, well, a different thought that kind of blends with the same thought here, but something that if you have an interest you can read over here in that text box, and as you start reading, that text box will flow over into the second page. But if we don't link them together, then I have to copy the text, paste it so it exactly fits that first text box, and then go to the second page in the continuation of the text box and copy the rest of the article and try to paste it in there. But if you link it, just take all the text, paste it in that first text box, and you're done, because if there's any left over, it'll spill over automatically because you link the two text boxes together into the second text box, or the third or the fourth text box, depending upon how many you want to link together, okay? So let me go ahead and create the first text box. Come up here, click on the Insert tab to the text group, click on the text box drop down arrow. I'm going to draw it. Click on it. I get my black cross. I'm going to click and drag and draw it about yay big. Now typically in the articles that I've seen, they have it take up the whole right hand side, but this should be good enough as an example. Once I have my text box there, I'm going to have the text wrap around it and not, well, be over it so you can't see the text. And then come up here on the Format tab to the Arrange group, click on the Wrap Text drop-down arrow, and let's do Square. And then, of course, as you recall in the text box training video, you can hover over the border and click and drag it to move it around, you know. I'll leave it right there. Okay, there's the first one. Scroll down to the second page, the continuation of that text box. Let's draw another one. And I don't have to go back to the Insert tab if I still have that other text box selected, because I can come up here on the Insert Shapes tab, and there it is. Hover over it, draw a text box. Yes, I will, thank you. Click on it, and then go ahead and click and drag, and I'm going to make this one a little bit meatier, okay? I think that's enough for the text that I want to add to the first text box and have it spill over into the second once I link it. If not, I can always adjust this second text box. Okay, let's go ahead and have this wrapped. Let me right click on the border. Here's another way to wrap the text. Instead of going up to the Format tab, right click, and in the shortcut menu we've got wrap text as well. Let's do Square. Okay, click off. Looks pretty good. Alright, let me go ahead and click and drag up to the top here, and let me add some text. Well, actually, I already have some text that I can add. Let me go to the next document here, and there it is. Right click to copy it, go back to my other document, click in the first text box, and Control V as in Victor to paste it. You can see it cuts it off here. It doesn't delete it, it just shows that it can't fit all within that box. If I want to see more, then hover over the bottom handle here till you can see arrows pointing up and down, then click and drag, and then you can see more and more, but I don't want it that big. I want it about yay big. And then I want to have the rest of the text, once I link the two text boxes together, automatically spill over into the second text box, because right now they're not linked, so it's not spilling over. To link it, go back to the first text box, select it by clicking on the border, and then come up here to the text group, well, of course on the Format tab, click on Create Link, and then notice when I move my pointer down, I get a picture full of, what does it look like? Well, I can tell you, you can't see it here, but a bunch of letters, okay? And what's that saying is that you've got the rest of the letters that's overflowing from this text box, and where you're going to dump it? Well, it's going to be dumped into that text box. Now watch what happens to that picture. When I hover over it, it wants to dump all the letters or the rest of the text into this text box here. I can do that with a click, and boom, there we go. So it continues on. So let me prove it to you. Go back up here, and it says, well, in the quote, one of the most important men in America for this message today, David Barton, has found that when he looked in, well, you can see it flows over, okay, so it's not being cut off. Well, there's too much text to fit within this text box, so I can create a third one, link this one by selecting it, clicking on the border, and then clicking on Create Link, and then, you know, taking the picture and clicking on that third text box. Or what I'm going to do here, because you already get the idea, is just stretch this open more until there's no more text that needs to be spilled over into the next text box, and I think it's right there. Looks good. Okay. Now watch what happens if I come back up here and I say, oh, I've got some more text, and I start typing. Notice how it automatically puts me down into the second text box because it couldn't squeeze any more into the first one. So in any case, they're linked. Let me go ahead and hit the undo button. And then of course don't forget, you can select your text boxes, change the colors, the styles, the formats, and scroll down here, work on that one as well. And then to break the link, I just go ahead and select the text, copy it if I want to reuse it, and paste it on the outside of the text box. Then select the text box and delete it, and well, it's no longer linked. Let me scroll back up. You can select the text box here, click on the Format tab, and then do it all over again. In fact, let me hover over the bottom part of it and drag it open, and you can see when the link is broken, it takes the text from that second text box and crams it all back up here into the first text box. So that way, you really didn't lose anything by deleting the text box, and you didn't have to take the text out of that second text box and copy it somewhere else, because once the link is broken, it crams the text all back into this first text box here. Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel to get notified of the latest videos. And for great specials on my products, please see the description below this video.